How do you organize your contacts in Constant Contact? Well, it depends on what you want really, but what I'm going to do is take you into my Constant Contact account and show you what I do. So let me just share my screen. Now, the beauty of Constant Contact is that you can have as many lists as you like. So that means that you can organize your contacts in a way that suits you. So I'm going to head over here to the contacts tab, and you can see that you can look at all contacts. That's every single contact in your account, and it will show you that. But I'm not going to show you that for GDPR reasons because you'll see people's details. You can build segments in Constant Contact. You can create your lists, as I said. You can have as many lists as you want, and you can tag your contacts. So let's look at how you might structure this. So I'm going to head into my list. Now, I have a lot of them, and I have to admit that I have to do a little bit of housekeeping even. So if I scroll down here, you can see I've actually starred some of these. These are some of my favorite lists that I use quite often. But if you look at them, you can see that the total number of contacts, how many are email, and we don't have SMS here yet. I'm hoping it will come here soon, but it will tell you how many SMS contacts you have as well. Now, what I've done is I've categorized my list. So the all category is kind of everybody. So all morsel, that's my weekly newsletter. I've also, everyone who joins my newsletter, I also categorize them by B2B or B2C, and also by product and service businesses. And there's a reason I do that, which I'll explain to you. But so there's my all category. I've got some Hillingdon contacts, which is where I live. And I've got some other bits and pieces. And then I've run into freebies. So these are my lead magnets, if you like. And so I categorize them, I label them freebies and what they are. And then I've got my general list growth. And then I've got some products and I've built some segments you can see here. Now, the segments have actually two uses. So you can build a segment from an existing list, but you can also send out an email and put a link in your email that then if somebody clicks on that, it will segment them into another list. So this segment coaching list is anyone who clicks on my coaching link in my emails, they get put into that list and they get a series of emails. So that's how you can categorize your list. As you can see, I've got loads of them, and like I said, I need to do a bit of housekeeping. You can easily create a list up here. So if we do that, it will ask you to name the list. You can add contacts in various ways. So you can create a brand new contact. So if you do that, it will bring up an add contact record. So you start with their email address and then fill in all the other details. But you can see that you can also type in contacts, or you can copy and paste them, or you can upload from a file, and there are a couple of integrations here as well that you can use to add contacts. Now, I also like tags because sometimes I want to send an email to my list and exclude people from it. So for example, next week, I am doing a webinar just for my email list, and you can see that 35 people have saved a space. I had an email go out just over an hour ago, so I'm expecting more registrations. Now, these people I will tag with the tag webinar registrants. So see, I've got 2 people to add to that. And that means that when I send out an email to my entire list, I want to send, if I'm talking about the webinar, I want to send my webinar registrants something different so I can exclude them from my email list. So how you structure your contacts is actually up to you. And what I would suggest you do is look at what you need right now and then think about how it might grow. So when I started, I started with a newsletter list. and a welcome list. So a list that people got added to when they signed up for my emails. And then I moved them to a newsletter list. And it was quite simple. And I realized quite quickly that it was actually not manageable. So that's when I created these categories and I divided things up so that I could understand how the list worked, and I could see the ones that I wanted to see in one view, even without starring them. But more than anything, I could see who's coming in via the lead magnets, what lead magnets. And you can see this one, the email marketing cheat sheet. That's my top one of all time. But there are some other freebies in there, as you can see, that've got some signups. So how you structure it is up to you. But what I would do is sit down with a piece of paper and figure out what it is that you want to achieve with your emails. Are you going to send segmented emails? You could have different lists. But equally, you could build your own segments. So the way that you would do that, let me just type in my name. And hopefully that's because I'm looking in lists. Let's look in contacts. Let's type in my name. And you can see I've got two contacts here. This is my Marketing by Manal email address. And you can see I've got some custom fields here. Now, if you wanted to build out segments, you could do that by adding your own custom fields, which I have done. So I have custom fields for various things. So I have a service that's where I generate newsletter topics for people. Of course, I've got my email marketing planner, my email course. I'm collecting data on the email service provider that people use. Whether if they're a customer, which service they've taken from me, are they a service business? Because I like to work with service businesses. So those are the ones that I work with the most. So I'll put that in there. And based on that, I can build segments. So if you pop into here, you can see that I've got some segments built. And this comes from the custom fields that I've built. So if people have told me that they use MailChimp and I have that in a custom field, I've got 33 people at the moment who use MailChimp, 25 who use MailerLite, 8 who use Constant Contact. And here are my split between product and service businesses. Now, this means that I can do some really cool things when I build an email. So when I build an email, rather than creating an email for a product business and a service business, that's 2 emails, I can create one email and use something called dynamic blocks that I can then allocate to each segment. So if I just want service businesses to see one part of the email, the dynamic block will help me to do that. And I think I'll probably do a whole other video on dynamic blocks and segments because they're pretty cool. So I hope that's given you a good idea and overview of how you can create your contacts, create your lists. And remember, you can have as many lists as you want in Constant Contact, but sit down and do a bit of planning on a piece of paper first before you start creating those lists in your account, which means that you'll have a bit of structure, you'll be able to organize yourself a bit better, you'll understand what tags you want to use and perhaps which segments you want to build. So I hope that has helped you. Please do subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting more how-to videos, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, subscribe. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.